Episode 26. Night has just about fallen, and it's prime time to strike at our potential foes, I think. It's too bad we didn't have time for a fish meal, but it's not ours anyway. And it's not yours either, Cat. I see you. Wake up. Kind of a strange place to put the enemies for this quest, just over by the Hawthorne Hut. I'd have thought they'd maybe be, I don't know, further out in the bramble patch or something, but that might be a different kind of too high level zone for this set of quests. Oh, and I finally get someone else. Oh, I'm paralyzed. Well, I could have handled that better, but we made it. Those clothes. You can dye these clothes? I didn't think you could. Acolyte's robe. I see. And the brand new gear that you get is a recolor of existing gear. I thought it was something that they created specifically for the tutorial. Dancing one is back. This one breathes sigh of relief. Now that's a dance. This one was worried. Dancing one found something. Dancing one found paper inside of box. This is a message from the Empire. This one can read Walking One's symbols. Message paper has names of food and rocks. Food and rocks were inside boxes, this one knows. But this one does not understand. Food and rocks mentioned all come from the home of these ones. How do Steel Walking Ones know to find them? Is there sneaky one hiding behind these ones' wings? Snooping one selling secrets to Steel Walking Ones? This one fears for this one's home, but Dancing One has helped this one much today. Dancing One must promise to always be friend to these ones. Helpful One arrives at a good time. This one needs Helpful One's help. Well, it never went anywhere. One of these ones named Plaxio ventured outside Little Soulless alone. Alone is unsafe. Helpful One must find Plaxio. Plaxio struck west after leaving the settlement. Hurry before Plaxio ends up in the belly of a beastly one. Perhaps Comuxio says came at a good time and such, because of the way these quests were shuffled and restructured to make them more streamlined. If certain quests were removed from the middle of this quest line, then it would make sense if we originally went somewhere else and came back to Kamuxio. Well, that's just an assumption anyway. This isn't very far at all, but I suppose it is a long way for such a small sylph. What? Walking One wants this one to return to Little Solace? Don't make this one laugh. This one is weary of living with those who are not these ones. This one wants to be alone. These ones rely on Walking Ones for everything. No better than those ones that summoned the Primal One. Small wonder this one chose to leave. This one thought it's a likely place to build a home. But then Meddling One arrives, forces this one to go deeper into forest. Meddling One is forbidden from following this one. Away with Meddling One. Well, I guess Komori gives up on that immediately. What? Zaxio refused to return to these ones and went deeper into the forest. But this one saw Touch Ones lurking in the forest. Hopeful One must hurry. Hurry and find Claxio. Hopeful One should search for spools of dread on forest floor. Those things will lead Hopeful One to Claxio. But hurry. Hurry before Touch Ones take Claxio away. And regrettably, Komori heads back into the forest. She was hoping that giving up would be a quick way to end this. Guess we have an instance coming up. Meddling One is back. No one told Meddling One, this one told Meddling One to be gone. Tell Kamuxio that this one will never go back. Never. Touched Ones? Touched Ones should go away too. This one is good one. Everyone should just leave this one alone. Be on guard, Komori. These sylphs have been tempered, brought under the thrall of the primal Ramu. Akin to the Amalja tempered by Ifrit, these sylphs exist only to serve their deity. They'll not answer to words, only steal. I take no pleasure in this, but it must be done. Alright, Papalymo says to ignore it, we'll ignore it. Gotta pay attention a little. Don't want the repeat of last time. suppose it's leaving. A level unknown Morble. I wonder if we would have even been able to do any damage. This one is safe. This one was so scared. Claxio. This one has been worried. So very worried. Is Claxio unharmed? Still in possession of wits? Comuxio? And meddling one as well? Why are these two here? These two came to rescue Claxio. That Claxio is safe fills this one with joy. Comuxio, forgive this one. This one did not mean to run away from Little Solus. This one was just afraid. These ones who live at Little Solus were changing, becoming friendly with other ones. This one feared that these ones were forgetting who these ones are, like touched ones did. But this one was wrong. This one can see that now. Meddling, helpful one. This one is grateful. This one will return to Little Solus to be with Comuxio and friendly ones. Well, that should see to that. What say we return to Little Solus as well? I, for one, could do with a nice hot bath. They have baths in Little Solus. Maybe inside one of the tents? Could just be a bucket or something. Well, while we're here, there aren't really any quests that take us here, but this structure, just kind of in the middle of the woods. Kind of tucked away in a part of the world that you never really go to. The Sanctum of the 12. No real main quests take you here. I'm pretty sure this area is only for getting married in-game. But it's weird that it's kind of hidden behind a dangerous part of the woods. A bramble patch. Maybe there are some NPCs around that tell you the lore of this place. It's probably some very old structure that doesn't see much use other than, I guess, whoever can afford a decent sum to get married in it. And of course the symbol over here, well, the various symbols of the 12. In order to get married there, you have to travel across the land far and wide in order to attune to 12 different symbols, one for each god, culminating in this location. And of course you have to do it with your potential partner. Can we buy anything? If you're planning to hold a ceremony of eternal bonding here at the Sanctum, I can furnish you with the assorted items to make your special day as special as can be. Right. Only for people taking on the marriage quest. Greetings and welcome to the Sanctum. I'm here to serve those couples who would be joined body and soul in the ceremony of eternal bonding. Ties that bind quest, only available to those with the promise wristlet. Oh, would you have to buy online? Hadn't thought about it. I guess you need to buy the opportunity to marry. Greetings, good madam. My name is Clarabelle, and I have the honor to assist those happy couples who wish to be joined in the sight of gods and men. The Signs of the Seventh Dawn quest. I'm not sure if that's probably a later quest, unless we already did that when we joined the Scions. I would assume it's later because this quest would take you all over the world to the level 50 locations that would make it difficult to traverse unless you made a way through the main quest. I was hoping to get a little bit of lore on this place, but I guess these aren't the right people for it. Good day to you, my lady. My name is Hawu Bajiri, and it is both my honor and privilege to assist happily bonded couples who wish to celebrate their anniversary and renew their vows. I very much look forward to the day you have need of my services. Quite presumptive of you. Surely there's someone here that'll give us the lore. How about you? Or these characters? Yes, that one would just be for entering. I feel truly privileged to be involved with the restoration of the sanctum. Returning each masterpiece to its original glory is like glimpsing into the mind of the artisan from whose hands it was wrought. It is a sight to gladden the heart, isn't it? A guardian to exalt the 12 is a daunting task indeed, and ever do I strive. But sometimes, I simply enjoy the beauty we have wrought. Oh, not much details about this place. I like the way this place is kind of flooded. It kind of gives it a feeling of being in ruins, but not quite too in ruins, to abandon use. Of late, more and more people are being joined here in the ceremony of eternal bonding. Seeing newly bound couples come out of the chapel with happiness writ upon their faces never fails to set my heart aflutter. When will my turn come, I wonder? Well, given that you're an NPC, I don't like your chances. Though some NPCs have been known to progress their own story with the right side quest. It'd be nice to see the inside, but certainly that's reserved for the ceremony. The sanctum is kind of a landmark that you can see from high up during certain look before you leap events in the gold saucer. I notice it sometimes, and having done one recently, I thought I'd come by for a visit, just to have a look at the architecture again. The Fate Circle is, into overlapping with the main quest. Well, at least the music isn't coming into play. This one thought Claxio was lost forever. Helpful one saved Claxio. Now these ones can be family again. This one has known many walking ones, even many kind walking ones. But Helpful One is kindest and strongest of all. Helpful One is a hero to these ones. Helpful One will bring these ones and walking ones closer together. This one knows. This one would take Helpful One to see Elder One. But Elder One is... I guess we were being given the runabout. This one must ask for Kind One's forgiveness. This one made promise to take Kind One to see the elders, to see Elder One, yes? But this one cannot. This one cannot because Elder One is not here. Elder One is not anywhere. Elder One went into forest yesterday, but has not come back. This one is worried. Elder One often goes into forest, but never for this long. Kind One will help find Elder One, yes. Near where Elder One disappeared is home of Walking One named Buscaron. Buscaron may know what happened to Elder One. This one would talk to Buscaron, but Walking Ones do not always trust these ones. Would Kind One talk to Buscaron for this one? And Kind One comes from Gridania, yes? In Gridania live many Kind Ones, yes? This one begs of Kind One. Please go to Gridania and ask fellow Kind Ones for help. And please hurry. These ones are not safe until Elder One returns. Apropos of nothing, I'll walk there. Just because I want to walk by certain paths that I don't think I'll get the chance to later, considering I haven't done the Gridania questline. I'm interested in seeing the way this path connects over here. With the new mount speed, I guess this will be quicker than I thought. Oh. This is a different place. Well, I guess the connection between East Shroud and South Shroud is, I suppose, a very long tunnel underground? Tell me about it, Aramont, if you could. Believe it or not, these cellars once crawled with beasts. The Order of the Twin Adder came in and cleared them all out, though. So bless their hearts. I tell you, I'd love to split a cask of Moon Toy brew with the adders that put me back to work. I guess these cellars have some kind of very long underground path that lead way up to the north. I'm not sure how representative this map is of the relative location from the South Shroud to the East Shroud. Could be a very short jaunt, or it could be as long as this line implies. Well, who knows. I'll be back in the South Shroud when the main quest takes me there. What I actually wanted to see was connection over here. What is our mount speed, by the way? One of two. The remaining mount speed, I believe, is unlocked through flame seals, or I guess for me now it would be storm seals on this character. I should probably think about unlocking those. This would be the territory I'd wander around if I did the same set of quests I did on my main character. Introductory quests in Gridania. Oh, I already walked by it, but... One area I was interested in seeing was the tree over here. I think the quest only takes you here if... You are only taken here by the quests and the introduction for Gridania. Otherwise, no real reason to come here. I think this tree is something of import to the elementals or whatever. But other than that, it's just a tree in a tucked away corner of the world that you'll never see again. It doesn't even look all that different from the other trees. I think so, anyway. And I didn't take a look at it the other time I was here, but this is really the only time you get to view this part of Gridania from afar, in this part of the map. Heading for La Nocia and... what was it? Danlan. Why does that name escape me? Ul'dah, of course. For La Nocia and Ul'dah, looking at the city from outside in a different part of the world map is a little bit difficult. One, because La Nocia is pretty far away, kind of distanced by bridges. And for Ul'dah, because of the big wall separating the inside from the outside. You get to see a bit of Gridania, at least just the Farline canopy and the airship landing, from this point in the world map. It's the kind of thing that I like in world map design, where you can see visually places that you're going to. Unless the world is an open world, like some massive open world game or something. You wouldn't really see this kind of thing if the transitions between map points take you long distances. You'd only ever see the interior of each location, without seeing them from the outside. This game is guilty of that in some cases, but here you get to see the outside. Anyway. And this location would have been on my main character, where I was first killing some enemies. Kind of a trip down memory lane, literally. I had forgotten to adjust the contrast when I started recording for this session. Hopefully in this episode, things are color corrected the way that I want them to be. I never actually know if the settings that I use for the colors are right. Maybe I should just use the default, but the recording never quite matches my TV no matter what I try to do. Color correction is one step in trying to fix that, but still seems a little bit off. Well, if it isn't our intrepid ambassador, how fare your diplomatic efforts with the Sylph tribes? Their elders gone missing, you say? Why, if he were to end up in the hands of the Temperate Ones, we'd have a crisis on our hands. You can assure the sylphs that my sharpest-eyed serpents will be on the lookout, night and day. No stone must be left unturned. I would ask you to call upon Guillamolco at Bent Branch Meadows, and deliver the message that the wood whalers are needed in the search effort. I guess we'll teleport now. There's no need to walk everywhere. Did the main quest already take us here? Or did we just go here for some side quest? Well, anyway. A message from Commander Hello? Hello? A message from Commander Hello, you say? The Sylph Elder has vanished. Worry not, friend. The wood whalers have eyes under every leaf, behind every branch. If the Elder is anywhere in these forests, we shall find him. And it's raining. A light drizzle, but it's raining. I guess we're heading to the South Shroud now. It seems kind of far afield from the Sylph territory, especially if we were saying that the bad Sylphs had taken the Elder. It feels like we're going in the complete opposite direction. South Shroud. Slightly visually different from the rest of the trees in the other parts of the shroud, I guess. But I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly what. I think the trees are shorter, maybe. Two Aetherites here. Tell me about this place, if you can. Oh there, friend. Is this your first visit to the Drullers? If so, then we drink to new acquaintances. If not, then we drink to old companions. A toast, I say. A toast to the best tavern in Eorzea. This is the best tavern in Eorzea. Oh, I mean, I guess some tavern has to be the best. Buscarron is a good friend of ours, and there's no place like his for the latest gossip in the South Shroud. The Sylphs are known to avoid the South Shroud. What could have compelled the Sylph Elder to come here? But the question of motive must wait. Finding him is our foremost priority. With things relatively calm over in Little Solace, we can focus our search effort on this area. Oh, that's right. I guess they said that the Garleans potentially took the Elder, not the other Sylphs. So I guess this location isn't so strange. Wench. How am I on food? I guess I am pretty low. Suppose we should go for the spell speed. Should we happen to enter any dungeons? I'll have to remember to eat. Well met, adventurer. We have the finest grog and grub this side of... not here to fill your belly then. Ah, hunger for news, is it? Aye, there's been talk of a sylph lurking hereabouts. But I couldn't rightly say if it be the elder you seek. Those woodland scamps all look alike. Short of painting one red and another one blue, most folk would struggle to tell two of them apart. If you've the time, mayhap you could stay a while and see what the gods have in store. You never know. You might even stumble across this sylph elder of yours. Are you asking us to perform a series of unrelated quests then? I suppose that's not outside of our expertise. Is this? This has to be some kind of joke. No word on the sylph elder yet, but I'm sure it's only a matter of time. In the meantime, how about doing a favor for old Buscaron in return? Right then, let's put you to work. There's a customer outside who's spoiling for a fight, and I need you to cool him off for me. No need to go cracking skulls though. Just take this tub of cold water and douse the drunkard. Tends to do the trick. My patrons can swill grog all night and carouse loud enough to wake the dead if they wish. But as soon as it turns violent, I've got to put my boot down. I suppose if we're wasting time with some unnecessary questing, this could be... we could do worse than this. Dousing a drunk with a bucket of water. What are you staring at? You want to keep them eyes in your face? Take my water-filled tub attack. Ugh. Norfolka's teats, that's cold. What do you mean, no fightin'? This Duskwhite scum was... Yeah, I know the rules. That bastard gets to keep his skin, for now. Thanks for stepping in there, friend. Not that I couldn't handle myself against a bleeding milksop like that bloke. And I don't want to cause no trouble for Buscaron. You know, having to mop up blood and bits of teeth and the like. I'm sure you could have handled it. You look like you could have. Nicely done, Komori. I'll not have my patrons picking fights with each other over a bit of petty... Will not have my patrons picking fights with each other over a bit of petty prejudice. In case you didn't see, the bloke who caught the brunt of that outburst is a Duskwhite Ellison. People who shun cities to live in the wilds, making them no better than brigands in the eyes of many. To be fair, the Duskwhites can be an unruly lot, but they ain't so bad once you get to know them. And it doesn't seem right to bar a whole race of people from the Druthers for the misdeeds of a few. There should be at least one place where anyone willing to pay the coin and drink in peace is welcome, don't you think? Just giving us an egg from your storage or something. Why? Well, I guess there are some people who would wear it. It would be the only reward that would be fitting for our class, but we'll go for the money. Actually, yeah, we're fine. Appreciate all the good you've done for our patrons. If you aren't disinclined, I have a favor of my own to ask you. Based on this line of dialogue, I would assume there were more quests cut or moved to side quests from the original main quest. Again, streamlining for people in A Realm Reborn. There's a Kikarin friend of mine, you see. Name of Teteroon, a good lad. It was right after the calamity that I came across him fallen in the shroud. He nearly died in all the havoc, so I took him in and nursed him back to health the best I could. He worked here at my druthers for a spell after that. Got to talking about striking out on his own. He did, and not long after cast his lot with a merchant bound for La Nocia. Well, it just so happens I got to cleaning up around here and came across something of his... this scarlet earring. I know he was fond of the thing, but he must have just forgotten it when he left. So I'd like to see that it gets to him. Can't say for sure where he ended up, but might be a friend of mine can. A Rogadan fellow named Bainsing. You can find him on Hawker's Alley in Limsula Minsa. He knows everything of the comings and goings of merchants there. Kind of strange for this quest to take us all the way over there. If this were the original game, it would be literally taking us to the other side of the world. The available world in A Realm Reborn. Not to question the quest design, but it feels like we haven't really seen much of the South Shroud yet. In fact, we haven't even attuned to an Aetherite. Before we leave, and considering we'll probably come back here, let's go for this Aetherite. Actually, well, it's no problem. We have our own chocobo. I don't know if the chocobo porter chocobos are faster, though. Now, who might tell me about this place? Oh, I thought this would be a leave quest or something, but this one's actually important to take. Yeah, I guess while we're in the area, we'll probably do that first. Planning to take a jaunt around the Roots Lake, are we? Well, do take care and enjoy yourself. I shall see you when you return, rather, if you return. Not the NPC I expected. Maybe Florent here. I was bringing lumber to the market long before the calamity. I tell you the things I've seen in the 12's Wood since then boggle the mind. The most bizarre beasts seem to congregate around that giant gate to the southwest, and the Gelmorn ruins to the northeast. From which of the 7 hells did those creatures come? Well, it's all flavor, but it's not the NPC I expected, with the whole song and dance of who are you and what is this place. I won't try too hard to find that NPC if they exist. Let's just get on with this quest. The unmistakable smell of chocobo clings to you, adventurer. Would I be correct in assuming that you have your own trusty steed? Aye, I thought so. Now tell me, is your bird battle-brained? If not, you might consider seeking the advice of Lucolo over at Bentbranch Meadows. The Asgardian native is something of a prodigy in all matters concerning our fine-feathered friends. He should be able to help you attain greater affinity with your bird. Strange that that unlocks in this area, and then immediately takes you to a different part of the Black Shroud. I wonder why this NPC in particular. Ever since the calamity, the flow of ether around Camp Tranquil has been unstable, and the land has struggled to heal its wounds. Lend us your strength and help slay the beasts ravaging the 12's Wood. Only then can the force return to its former glory. That character doesn't seem to have much to do with chocobos. I wonder. Why not just have the quest start over at Bentbranch? This character is important. I had no idea they'd just be sitting out here in the wild like this. I am Raya Osena, a Pajal of Gridania, as you might discern from the horns on my head. I think we saw her during Connie Senna's ceremony in the cutscene, or some of the Horn Children. My name may be unfamiliar to you, but doubtless you know of my sister. That would be Connie Senna, Elder Seedseer of Gridania and Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder. Together we are known as the 3 Seedseers, my sister, myself, and our younger brother Arun Senna. Among my myriad titles, I am proud to call myself a practitioner of white magic, which is the art of healing. This is an art for which we have no small need. The 12's Wood has been made to suffer with unspeakable pains. From the calamity to unending conflicts with the beast tribes, to exploitation at the hands of our own people, it is my duty, my calling, to provide succor, and I do it gladly. The White Mage quest is kind of a strange one. I haven't played it myself, but I know, based on the lore, people have talked about how it's some kind of special magic that only a few people know. And apparently the Warrior of Light, your own character, is the only person to practice white magic in this day and age other than a few NPCs like Raya here. Which would make it strange if you were to enter a dungeon with another character or another player that has white mage class equipped. You would have to, in an RP sense, reason that they're doing some other magic other than white magic, if you were to believe what the NPCs are saying about white magic being exclusive. Maybe the Paladin quest takes you to talk to Raya for some reason. Why, I've served Raya, since she was a little girl no bigger than me, Kupo. She has matured much since the calamity. Her brother Arun, on the other hand... When she was a child, Raya O had quite a temper. She's a sweet little girl now, but a Moogle does not easily forget. Even now the sound of her voice makes my fur stand on end, Kupo. White Mage is a fun aesthetic, as you can tell by Raya, but I don't think I'll be picking it up on this class. Maybe not a great fit for Komori. Well, I've been screwing around for too long. Let's try to finish up this Chocobo quest before we're out of time. Greetings, adventurer. Is there something you need? You wish to have your Chocobo trained in combat? This is no small request you make. Riding your bird is one thing. Asking it to take hurts in your name is quite another. I will help train your Chocobo, but on the promise that you will never unduly expose it to danger. Do I have your word? Very well. To begin, we'll need a bunch of Gissel greens. You have my leave to pick one from the fields yonder. Return when you have it. Well, I think we already have quite a few, but I guess we need the quest-specific one. Have you acquired the greens? Superb. Then we shall get straight to it. Doubtless you already know this, but chocobos are highly fond of Gissel greens. They love the leafy vegetables so much, in fact, that they will completely forget their fears in the face of danger. Thus, by feeding your bird the greens, you can prevail upon it to fight beside you. And then, once called, it will be up to you to direct its actions as you see fit. You will find that your chocobo innately responds to a number of general commands. Give your bird an order, and it will act accordingly, and to the best of its ability. A simple yet effective methodology was developed by the Fortomps family, one of the foremost houses in Ishgard, a name to remember. And that concludes your lesson. Of course, it is not enough to merely hear about practice. One must venture forth and attempt it oneself. Summon your chocobo with a bunch of Gissel greens, and together make your way to Sorrel Haven. The Brood Zizat Paroli area ought to be a suitable challenge for you and your companion. Put down 3 of them, and return here. And lastly, by way of advice, I would recommend you keep an ample supply of Gissel greens on your person at all times. A resident vendor would be able to provide you with as much as you can carry. Use the companion menu to fight with your chocobo, or use Gissel greens to summon them, I suppose. Are they petting my cat? It's interesting. It seems like the cat was in a slightly different position on their screen. Or they were just standing at a distance using the emote. I don't think we've gone up here yet. Orders through the Chocobo companion menu. There's tank, healer, and DPS class, along with a bunch of skills that you can give them for each of those. Ah, that was Fire 2. I meant to be casting Fire 3. Those morbals look quite big when you're a Lalafell. Use experience for your companion skills. I think after our little conversation with the white mage, Raya O, Gamori's probably thinking about her own situation. She would never admit to needing the help of a healer, but it probably wouldn't help if the Chocobo helped on that front. Let's just teleport over there. Each Kissel Green gives you 30 minutes of Chocobo time, which is why it's quite important that you buy a bunch. Speaking of, Nukulo did tell us there was a vendor here. Other trader? Well, I guess I'll have to find it somewhere else. So, you have successfully negotiated your first few battles with your Chocobo. Well done. Tell me, how did it feel? Was it not supremely reassuring, fighting with your feathered companion? Your Chocobo can make up for your shortcomings or build upon your strengths. Indeed, there are countless ways the two of you might complement one another. Through some experimentation, you will come to find the approach that serves you best. Before I forget, I have one last parting gift. A saddlebag for your Chocobo. Carrying Gisselgreens about can be quite cumbersome, after all, and there should be sufficient room in your personal belongings should the need arise. I pray it serves you well on your travels. Chocobo saddlebag is a second inventory, available wherever you can summon your Chocobo, or rather, in most places other than dungeons or whatever. With our new companion having been trained, I think now would be a good time to take a break.